Good afternoon. This is Patricia Gray, and I'm recording my first video for YouTube, for my YouTube channel, which is Patricia's Body Synergy. And I want to start off with some of the things from the workbook. The workbook was designed for uh, calling your spirit home, and that was a workshop that I did in Detroit some years ago. But before that, long before that, I was doing workshops with different people in classes because I feel that people have forgotten who they are. Today I looked at a Yanosh, that's spelled Janosh, webinar activation called Unmask. And in listening to that and thinking about that, we all have been wearing masks for so long, we have forgotten who we are. And because of those masks, so often that's the reason we don't get things done in our lives. We procrastinate. We are full of judgment of ourselves and others. We go to religion and we don't really practice that well. We go to spirituality. We don't practice that well because we don't know who we are, and because we have never or seldom connected with the spirit that is within us. We're always outside of that. So calling your spirit home is a series of workshops that I have planned and have done many times in the past. And so the first workshop, I want to talk about your spirit, which has been a wanderer for too long. And when I talk about spirit, it's that still small voice within you that you ignore so much of the time. It's that little inkling that will tell you, don't do this, or you should do this, or pay attention to this. And some of the things that I will be talking about is purification. Purification is one of the first things that each of you need to do. I mean, purification means cleansing of the body, the mind, and the spirit. And when you purify, then you can let good things come in because you're like detoxifying your body, mind, and spirit. And most of us don't do that. We just keep allowing all of the negative to come in and affect us in our life. And we react to things that we shouldn't react to. If you are spiritual, or if you're religious, if you're Christian, Buddhist, whatever it is, I think that you need to re-examine that belief system which you have said that you are a part of. And so many times we take on parts of a group, a religion, a practice, whatever it is, we take on a part of it, but we don't really embrace the inner parts of it. We don't embrace the parts that cause us to be disciplined. We don't read the whole thing. We take parts of it and we spew that out and spill out parts. We'll quote scriptures or pieces from someone's work, from the Torah, from the Bhagavad Gita, all of these different texts that are out there. And so we will take a part of that, and that's where we stop. And it takes discipline. And I know that because I call myself spiritual, at least my practices, because I don't want to be caught up into any one practice. So most of the things I do are things that I sense from within me are right for me. And that's where I hope you will go after we have a couple of sessions. Anyway, calling your spirit home is because, as I said, your spirit has been wandering. You don't know who you are really because you have attached yourself to various roles that you play, various occupations, various educational levels that you've reached. You've attached yourself to so many things that you're just scattered. You really don't know who you are. Are you a parent? Are you a sibling? Are you an educator? Are you an attorney? Or, and it goes on and on. And so many people, that's because they think that they have worked so hard for this, that's how they relate to themselves. That's the way they relate to who they are, what they have been, what they're going to be, and they're caught in a box and they can't escape from it. And so they're wearing, as Yanash said today, they're wearing all these masks, and these masks tend to create an unreal self, a self that's not true to who you really want to be or what you want to express. So when you start thinking about the various things that you want, do you want to stay where you are? Are you comfortable with that? Or do you think there can be better? If you think there can be better, then these workshops are for you. If you think you can be happier, if you think you can be more peaceful, less judgmental, that you can be more centered and more healthy, because health also depends on your spiritual state of being. From the Joe Ray Institute, I learned something that has been very valuable to me. The spiritual precedes the physical. And what that means is everything was first a thought. Everything first existed in the invisible world. And we bring it into being. We think about this photo. Someone drew it. Someone made it into a form. Someone created in their mind. It's the symbol of life, the Japanese sign of kanji for life, and not kanji. Anyway, Japanese symbol for life, and for light. I'm sorry, I said life, but it's light. And so you think about that. Someone came up with that, created that, but there was a thought first, a process that said this should be to represent light. And so they took parts of the alphabet that they use and they came up with the symbol, probably through just imagining it in their mind. And that's what you can do about so many things that you are currently accepting as the way it is or way it should be. Calling your spirit home is a task and a challenge. And in these lessons, I will ask you to challenge yourself. I want you to, if you're going to come to these classes, please bring a paper and pencil, because some of the things that I will show you, you want to write down. And I will show you the 7 concepts that I have in the workbook. And the workbook is available. It's out of print, but I can get new copies printed if you would like to have it. Let me grab the workbook for a minute. This workbook was done in 2002. As I said, we did a workshop at Cobo Hall for women, and it talks at the top is what I want you to think about. My name is, or my job is, but I am. And so the I am, you see, is in capital letters, because I want you to start thinking about what you are beyond your titles and roles. I want you to find a space and a time to check out your own spirit. It may be elusive because so many times we don't even think about our spirit. We just continue to go on as we are. And then at the bottom it said it's time for you to call your spirit home. Let the new adventure begin. And that's what I want you to do, is think of this as a new adventure. Time to call your spirit home. Let the new adventure begin. And it shows this idea was something that I created from a series of images that I had. And back a few years ago when I did this, I think I was more creative than I am now, and I want to get back to that. But this is the workbook that I will be using. And in this workbook, I have some list of concepts that I hope you will start to pay attention to, and I will address one at a time because, as my son says, sometimes I'm trying to give you too much or take you too fast or too far at one time. So I'm going to try to go slowly, and so that you can take in the information and do something with it. And that's not going to happen all night overnight, because often we think we're going to do something and something interferes with that plan. And so if I give you some information, or you take information from what I'm saying, just put it away and then make yourself a plan. And plan, you're going to have to start a whole new routine, or training yourself to do this if you haven't done it, if you don't already have a routine. I know many people do yoga and meditation and they have various methods to help bring themselves back into alignment. And it's more important this year because of COVID, when we've been inside, when we have not communicated with people, when we are in a learning process. It's a self-development process being restricted by COVID. And this is a time, I don't know how long this is going to go. We don't know how long this is going to go on. But I want you to think about, this is your time. This is a time now for you to make the changes, so when we come out of this, you can create another job. You can create a different type of relationship with those in your household, with those outside. If you have to go back to work, you can create jobs, you can create industries, you can create whatever it is, because it's all within you. All knowledge is within you. There's nothing outside of you. The first person that ever knew anything, where did it come from? The first mathematician, the first philosopher, where did these things come from? They came from within them, within their spirit. So think about that and start calling your spirit home, so you can be as creative, as inventive, and intuitive. I think intuition is a big thing. But here are the, I'm going to see if I can get them up close enough for you to see. So, purification, appreciation, service, good intention, non-judgment, acceptance, personal conspiracy, which is important and I'll talk a lot about, and love or understanding. So those are the ones that we're going to be doing some of each week. And the first one, as I said, is purification. Think about starting a purification process. You can start it with your body, if you think that's where it needs to start, with your mind, if that's where you think it needs to start, or with your spirit, if you think that's where it needs to start. If it's your body, you know what to do. Some of you have been on diets that don't work. Some of you have been doing different cleanses that don't work or haven't worked because you're still having the same problems. Some of you are on different medications that you don't feel comfortable taking, but you continue taking them because your doctor says this is best. And, I don't want you to stop doing what your doctor says, but I want you to explore other avenues, even other medical practitioners who may be able to give you some help, added to what your physician is doing. I never stop doing what your medical practitioner says to do, but there's so many avenues out there to explore, so many other resources. I will be doing some workshops also, some classes for my practice is orthobionomy. And orthobionomy is an osteopath-based body work, which I have been doing for about 8 years until March when the COVID struck, and I have not seen a client since then. But some of them need help. So I will do some, and I will post it and let them know when I do one that shows them how to ease backache, neck problems, or whatever body part that they may have. And I will do private sessions. If someone wants to have a private session with something they're dealing with, I will do those at the cost. For me, it'll be a little bit less than my usual cost, but still a cost. So you will have all my information. If not, I will give it to you. And just know my business name is Body Synergy because I believe that the body and the mind should be in a synergistic relationship, that both of them have to work together. And if everything is not working together, you won't have that synergy or melting together or working together in harmony. And so that's why I started off doing regular massage, traditional massage, and found out about orthobionomy, which is energetic, it's spiritual, it relieves pain, it helps to realign the body. It was more suitable to me and my energetic goals and my spiritual goals. I love orthobionomy, and if you haven't had orthobionomy, you should try it because it does help you to get in that space within you that you need to be in. Makes you sense yourself. Many people get off of the table and they say they feel relieved of something that has been there for a long time. Not only the pain, but a lot of things have been helped. And I don't do anything to them. I'm allowing the body and their mind and spirit to do it. And that's the same thing that I will be doing in these classes. I will present information. And if you ever call me for a consultation, that's the same way I will be handling that. I don't try to tell people what to do. I allow them to discover for themselves what it is that they prefer or choose to do. So I'm trying to bring another way of seeing yourself into your life, trying to make you be more in touch with what's within you, which is so wonderful and great. You're a miracle in action, and you have forgotten that. You think that your body, the body that people see, is what's important, and it's really not. I want you to get to the place when someone sees you, they see the light from within, and that you see and feel the light from within you, which is all there ever is. And I want you to start to live in this present moment, because that's all you ever have. Last year, what happened yesterday, what happened an hour ago, it's not important. So go and apologize to those people that you had words with a few minutes ago and tell them that I was just not in the right space at the time. And stop thinking about what you're going to do for tomorrow, because as you saw, this COVID dampened a lot of those plans that people had for what they were going to do next year, and what the plans that they had for how much money they were going to make, how much education they were going to get, who they were going to marry, who they were going to treat badly, who they were going to beat up, beat down. All those things have changed, and we have a new opportunity. And until we get the energy globally, this COVID is going to be here. We need to create a new energy and a synergy. So that's all for today. I will post the next video within a week. And until then, be at peace. Know that everything is in divine order, even though it may not seem like it to you.